Hello students, welcome back to my channel, that is your physics wali madam. So if you have not watched my previous videos, please go and watch the videos and come to the third chapter, that is motion in plane. So today we are going to start motion in plane. So previously you have studied about motion in straight line. So in straight line we study the motion of the objects which are moving in the one state of reference, that is either in x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. In one coordinate it may be vertically downwards or vertically upwards or backward or forward. Okay, only those directions will be compiled to the motion of the body. So today we are going to study about the motion in plane. So here motion in plane is nothing but where the motion is compiled to the body of which has two dimensions. The body which has two dimension motion. So it may be along x-axis. Okay. So it may be along the xy, it may be along the yz, or it may be along the zx. So any of the two coordinates it will be moving in. So this chapter deals with the objects which are moving in two dimensions. Okay, fine. So here, what are the different types two dimensions motion? We will come across the projectile motion, circular motion. Okay, so projectile will be the motion which will be moving with a certain initial velocity. Okay, thrown with initial velocity, it comes to the ground and hits the ground after a certain time interval. Okay, so such motion is called as projectile motion. And another is the circular motion. Okay, any body which is moving in a circular orbit is known as the circular motion, or its trajectory gives the circular shape. It is known as the circular motion. So such motions we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, so before that let us see what are vector quantity and scalar quantity. So let us see the scalar quantity. I think already you are familiar with the physical quantities that we have studied in the first chapter itself, that is units and measurement. Now we are moving ahead with these physical quantities, scalar quantities. A scalar quantity is a quantity which have only magnitude but no direction. Okay, example: mass, time, then speed, distance, volume, area, etc. So such quantities are the quantities which have only magnitude. That such quantities are known as the scalar quantity. So now let us see what are the vector quantities. So vector quantity are the quantities which have both magnitude as well as direction. Example, velocity, force, displacement, then acceleration. So such quantities which have magnitude as well as direction are known as the vector quantity. And now let us see the representation of a vector. So let us suppose this is P point and this is Q point. The body is moving from P to Q. It is directed with a arrow mark. So its magnitude is A, and on that if we write a vector or an arrow line, so that is signifies it is a vector quantity. So always a vector is given by a letter, and on that there will be a arrow notation. Okay, so this part is the tail of the vector. It is the tail of a vector, and this is the head of the vector. The origin is the tail, and the ending or the arrow mark, that means it is moving in this direction, that is the head of the vector. Okay, so this is how it is represented. Okay, yes. So let us move on to the next slide. So that is, let us see the kinds of vectors. So there are some of the following important types of vectors. Let us see the localized vectors. Localized vectors are the vectors whose tail is fixed or localized. Such vectors are known as the localized vectors. Okay, the tail will be fixed. That means the origin is fixed. It may move anywhere. So such vector is known as a localized vector or fixed vector. Second, non-localized or free vectors. A vector whose tail is not fixed is called a free vector or non-localized vector. It can start from anywhere. So such vectors are known as non-localized or free vectors. Collinear vectors. Collinear vectors are the vectors having equal or unequal magnitudes but drawn in the same direction are known as the collinear or collinear vectors. So it may be, if vector A is this of magnitude, so suppose it is a force 5 Newton, and again this is another force that is 7 Newton, unequal magnitude but they are moving in the same direction. So these are collinear vectors. Then let us see the next one, equal vectors. So equal vectors are the vectors which have both the same magnitude as well as both same direction. So if this is the 5 Newton is the magnitude of the vector A, and again if the other one vector is also 5 Newton, that is B vector, they are known as the equal vectors. Vector A is equal to vector B. So these are equal vector. They move in the same direction and they have the same magnitude. Okay. Then negative vectors. What are negative vectors? Negative vectors are the vectors which having equal magnitude but like for example length, but they are in opposite direction. So for example, if the length is equal, that is if it is displacement is 3 meter and another is 3 meter only, equal magnitude displacement, but they are in opposite direction. They are known as, this is the negative vector. This is vector A and this is minus of vector A. Then unit vector. A vector having unit magnitude is called unit vector. So it is represented by n cap. I will show in the next slide. Okay, n cap, which is equal to vector A upon modulus of vector A. This is the magnitude of the unit vector, or the formula for the unit vector. So if we take the coordinates, so x-axis has the I cap unit vector, y-axis has j cap unit vector, and z has k cap unit vector. Okay, this I'll explain in the next video completely. Then coplanar vectors. What are coplanar vectors? Vectors lying on the same plane are called coplanar vectors. So if there are three vectors P, Q, R, they all are lying on the same plane. We'll do in the parallelogram law of vector addition using the parallelogram board in the practical. So there you'll understand what are the coplanar vectors. All these three vectors, they are lying on the same plane. Then polarity of the vectors. The vectors whose direction is along the direction of motion are called polar vectors. Example, velocity, displacement, acceleration, force. Okay, so along which direction the vector is, the motion of the body is also along the same direction. That is known as the polarity of the vector. Then axial vectors, the vectors whose direction is along the axis of rotation. So which are circular, then those are known as the which comes under the quantities which come under circular motion, that is angular velocity, angular acceleration, torque, and angular momentum. The such are known as the axial vectors. Null vector. A vector having zero magnitude is called an null vector or zero vector. So I hope you have understood this. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. If you have any doubt, you can comment and ask me the questions, okay, of any first year or second year chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.